If you're frustrated by flat, stiff, cartoony drawings, this one word might be holding you back. Which word? Well, answer this. Do you think of drawing in terms of lines or marks? But wait, aren't lines in a way marks and marks in a way are lines? The answer is yes. Then what role do these lines and marks play in transforming those stiff drawings into alive ones? Well, this video will answer that question through live drawing so that you can see the answer unfold right before your eyes. Let's begin. For those who are new here, hi, I am Parul, founder of Restart Art. I help you to return to art with real grounded confidence. So, if you feel that your drawings feel flat, stiff, or not flowing enough, this video will be really helpful. Let's decode these lines and marks through these 3 examples. These are continuous lines. They give off a very in control, stable vibe with a very clear starting and end point. Next comes these faded lines. They give off a sense of movement because they have a distinct starting point and the other point looks like it vanished after traveling a distance. And these are marks. They are playful in nature. They come with a lot of variety like broken lines, dashes, dots, squiggles, well, as varied as your mood. Innately, none is better than the other, but now look at this. When we have a set of repeated continuous lines, they look all neat and nice, but none of them stand out. They express harmony, stability, and are good for showing patterns. On the other hand, when we have a set of repeated faded lines, they kind of give a sense of direction, movement, and speed. And now look at this set of variety of lines, repeated next to each other. Here, some capture your attention and some sit gently in the background. This set draws your eyes towards its variety. It's like music. Like you want certain notes to take the center stage, be bold, command attention, while other notes to hold the background beautifully, create that atmosphere. In the same way, in drawings, you need that variety of lines. You may be wondering, Parul, this is all clear. But what does this has to do with my drawings coming out to be flat and stiff? How to solve that? Well, now let me show you all of this concept into action through live drawing, which I promised you earlier. This is the reference image I will use. I will treat these 2 shoes differently to illustrate the difference continuous line and mark making gives to your drawings. To start with, let me capture the overall shape first. Here, I'm not too worried about the details too much. All I'm doing is getting a sense of what will come where, a feel of the subject. You can also call them thinking lines because you are exploring various hidden, folded, bold, curved parts of your subject for the very first time. Now that I know the overall placement of the subject, I can focus on the left shoe first and start illustrating what results you will get from using continuous lines. In a way, you are capturing the outline of the individual part of your subject. Notice, these lines have same pressure throughout, and that makes every edge to speak at roughly the same volume. Even while shading, I've tried to keep my lines continuous. Notice here that when we give every edge the same dark continuous line, we make the drawing flatter than the subject in front of us. Continuous lines and outlines are not the enemy, but outlining on autopilot and treating every drawing subject with the same approach can result into flat drawings. You may be wondering, so why do we use them at all? I think as children, we saw them everywhere in our art books because outlines make shapes easy to understand. They are also widely used in cartoons, comics, graphic novels, animation, etc. Because in those industries, you want wide distribution. To make art available at that scale in a uniform and reliable way, The individual steps of the creative process, which is drawing and coloring, have to be simplified. And hence, clean outlines became a useful way to mark which area will cover which color. So, continuous lines became a powerful visual shorthand when clarity, repeatability, separated areas of color are required. The mistake we accidentally make is when we treat them as the only way to create drawing. So, unless there are specific project requirements or your personal preferences, trying various ways of approaching your subject simply expands your art vocabulary. If you're finding this video helpful by far, you would absolutely enjoy my newsletters. There we go deeper into art practices, artistic mindsets, tackling any creative blocks, etc. They are a good way to stay in touch with your creativity. If you're interested, they are free to join. The link to join the newsletters is in the description box below. Now comes the turn of this second shoe. We will treat this one through mark-making approach. Here, lines will follow the subject's visible and vanishing edges by applying varying pressure, line weight, line types, etc. I'm not trying to get a perfect replica of the image, but I am trying to capture the character of the subject. Like in this case, the second shoe looks tired, in a dire need to catch a nap. You know what I mean. You just observe as closely as possible. Try to follow along as much as you can. Mend your mistakes if you take the wrong route and get back on the right track. Like in this case, the overlapping laces were confusing me a little, but I tried to stick with it. Otherwise, I won't be able to show you the messy middle. While capturing the light and dark play in this shoe, I'm again not aiming for perfection and rather just trying to be present with what is in front of me. Usually, you go grade-wise, meaning you go from light to dark tones. But given this is a quick sketch, and my aim is to show you mark-making effect versus continuous lines effect, I am doing a sort of freestyle here. My eyes were constantly getting hooked on the front part of the shoe, so I gave it some quick values there to establish how comparatively lighter or darker the other areas of the shoe can go. I'm just capturing it as it comes, using instinct to draw lines rather than following some set ways to draw. I found that the more at ease and present you are with your subject, and least bothered by what's the latest trend, the better results you get. You stop and observe and go again. The process is always messy in the middle. This is often the part we don't see when we look at someone else's finished artwork. We see the confident finished drawing. We don't see all the uncertain decisions that happen before it. So allow yourself some grace and don't just judge yourself too harshly. Otherwise, we leave things incomplete. That has a toll on our confidence, isn't it? And on the other hand, when we complete it, no matter how it turns out to be, we can learn from our mistakes and grow. If you want to create drawings that feel alive, drawings with personality, feeling, and mood, you have to look at your subject differently. You're not trying to record everything you see. You are deciding what you noticed, what matters to you, and how your marks can communicate that unique viewpoint. You see a real growth when you practice art this consciously. Further, what I've noticed is, in our busy life, it is far more easier to stay connected with art when we are surrounded by creative environment. That is why I write newsletters. They are simply my studio notes on artistic mindset and finding your way back to art with grounded confidence. If you're interested in reading them, you can sign up for free. The link to join is in the description box below. Back to the video now. Look at these two drawing treatments on these two shoes. One has clean, neat lines, capture the shape, but has a bit of flatness and stiffness to it. And the other one, during mark making, it might have made you feel to run away, but as we patiently stayed with it, kept on making our best guesses, we arrived at something that shows that you observed. It is mark making where your inner artist gets to express your uniqueness. Mark making involves observation, actively using your instincts, capture what drew you to the subject and communicate that. Now take out your pencil and choose an everyday object around you. Don't worry about making it beautiful or perfect. All you need to do is observe your subject and decide which line needs to be dark, light, broken, or even vanishing. Your attention needs to dictate your pencil to glide on your sketchbook. Talking about pencils reminds me of this weird habit we art lovers have. We love to gather great variety of pencils and neatly tuck them away in our desks to use them one fine day. Our stack of pencils keep on growing, but our confidence, not so much. If that's you and you desire that freedom and confidence in your drawing lines, you will find this video really helpful. It should be on your screen now. Until we meet next, confidently step into the artist you know you are. Restart art. It's good for you.